Good afternoon. Today is the 13th of June. It's the day after the Bromley Pageant of motoring. I had hoped to record this actually last week, maybe yesterday or something, but unfortunately that's not the way that it's happened. So we will make our way back from having picked up the click and collect shopping to where we live in Eastleigh. How glamorous that is, how wonderfully glamorous. We'll talk today, obviously this is a very vague vlog, and turn that off. This is a very vague vlog, and things can go an awful lot, just like a ramble, if I don't check myself. But we're going to be talking more in depth about the Bromley Pageant and how it was possible to actually film that. I do apologise if the microphones have got kind of knocked accidentally there. Bromley Pageant has been going for some time. I think it's got something like a 30 to 40 year history. And in 2019, I found out that Ian Seabrook was going to be there. Obviously Ian Seabrook from the Hubnut channel. I'm sure most of you know who he is. I also found out Mr. Richardson, the Furious Driver, was going to be there. Actually, he was going to be on the stand for Ian Seabrook, one of the cars that he selected. He had many Rovers on the stand, and Mr. Richardson's was one of them. One of them was the old 45 V6 that Ian Seabrook used to own. That unfortunately is now gone. It has been scrapped, which is a real shame. So it happens in a place called Norman Park, which is in a London borough of Bromley. It's a very, very big park actually, when you think about it, but almost every inch of it was filled yesterday by everything. It's like such a bigger event in 2019. The fact is that I filmed only 3 videos there, and part of that was due to technical limitations. The phone I was using to record at the time was one of the main phones I have, and the battery just was terrible on it, and so, you know, lucky to get 2 to 3 videos out of it. Now I have other ways of dealing with that kind of situation, which is to have multiple phones, and also my own sort of little charging bank, which I've now started to use because it means I can go for longer and have better quality videos rather than resorting to the emergency recording phone, which has terrible quality. Very good sound, but awful picture quality. There's no stabilisation in it at all. It's not suitable for doing these events really. But at the time I only had one, and it was very old, and the recording quality was fine. It was very similar to this, but it was just a terrible battery on it. And for some reason, once I put the videos out, the one that was most of the one make parking area, but they have a Bromley Pageant, that one actually was picked up by the organisers of the event, and they promoted it on their own site. I don't really know particularly why me, but there we go. Ian Seabrook's video is, well, it's a lot better than the one that I made, but for some reason they chose to put mine up there. And you know, in 2020 they asked me to come back, but then everything went wrong, and so they asked me in 2021 to come back, and then everything went wrong. And so this was the first year of the stand. I got a channel banner made, which turned out to be useless, so I don't think we'll be seeing that unless it's an indoor event, because it doesn't really stand up in wind, which is a bit rubbish because it's a big park and it's open and there is a bit of wind. And so I invited, rather like Ian Seabrook had done, to invite Mr. Richardson, the Furious Driver, at his stand. I invited as many people as I could find. Some of them couldn't be there. Unfortunately, Mr. Coleman could not. I did ask Mr. Richardson, but he was busy. So I asked instead some of the people I knew. Simon from Lot 76 Cars, who looks like he's enjoyed himself. Amber from Gym 24/7. And Mr. Bill and Lady Corbell Holmes from Fuel Power. I also invited a couple of my friends from Road 45 Owners Club, Paul and Wayne, who brought their cars as well. we like to give a little sort of a MG Rover flavour to the stand. But yes, we were able to have a stand right next to the main arena, just behind the Classics Wild stand, right in front of the food court, so we got a lot of exposure. Whether that's a good or a bad thing depends on how extrovert or introvert you are, but as I wasn't really there much anyway, because I had to do so much shambolic shuffling, and the amount of shuffling, sorry, touched the microphone again, the amount of shuffling that I did was utterly ludicrous. 10 half-hour parts in a day is just something that's not really recommended. I don't know why I did that. I'm a bit silly, really. I'm gonna definitely sleep well tonight, though, after exertions yesterday. So it's a huge event. You know, they have got 3 sort of main areas. There are cars for sale and a lot of trade stands and things like that. You won't see too many of those because I didn't get to that side of the field until when most people had left. There are the club stands, and there are an awful lot of club stands. Loads and loads of club stands for everything from one specific model. Stands like the Ford Cortina 600E Owners Club, it's about as specific as it gets. Right, if it's just a general club, I mean, we were a general club, I suppose, ourselves. We had a variety of different cars, yeah, that was something that you know, was sort of enjoyable. I just wish I'd had the chance to be on the stand in that way, because at these events I'm just not able to do it. I can't be on the stand and record shambolic shuffles in the way that I need to. And if you were to do the whole event, then you just got to get on with it. Like, you know, people kept waving at me and wanting to talk to me, and I did get interrupted at one point. I had to stop recording, but I just don't really have the time, unfortunately, to talk to anybody. I have to keep focused on what I'm doing, otherwise I will not make it round to every stuff. Even as it was, I did not make it round to all the stuff. So this is why I just kind of say to people, if I sort of just kind of wave at you one hand and keep recording, it's not because I haven't seen you, it's not because I don't like you, it's because I have to keep recording, otherwise I will just come out of there and it will considerably delay just recording all the parts. Obviously if I finish, it doesn't matter, but something like Bromley Pageant, you know, I never really finished. You know, I got there too late to the second bit of the field to actually be able to, you know, have a sort of meaningful number of parts. It was 10, which is insane. No one at all will ever probably do that kind of thing at Bromley Pageant, apart from me. But I could have done more. And next year, if we go again, if we do get invited to go on a stand, I'm not saying it will happen for definite, but I will bring someone else with me just to man the stand, and sort of somebody who's a bit more personal than me in these events, because all I'm thinking about is getting the footage done. That's really all I can think about. The social aspect of it sort of comes after I've got the footage I need, and you know, obviously I'm thinking about, you know, when I have to leave as well, getting the video up, because I put my videos up immediately, and that does take a few hours to go back, get all the footage off onto a laptop, edit the video together, render the video, and then upload it. That takes several hours. So I'm also thinking about that and getting it done, and then I've got 10 more parts after that to edit as well. So it is a big undertaking. So I concentrate on one-make parking because that's a unique thing at Bromley Pageant to have that. And I did most of the car clubs, but not those all. So if you saw the videos and in your car wasn't there, then I'm very sorry. There are one or two instances that you know, we don't cover certain cars, so we don't talk about diesels on this channel. And also, if I think the car is just too kind of new and there's just loads around, I will use my discretion and just might not record it. There were loads of cars after 2012 there, and some of them I just don't really think they're quite right for a show like that yet. Obviously in the future they will be, but some of them just, I don't know, just aren't. And I just use my discretion. Sometimes I don't record them. You know, with an event like this where I, you know, didn't really get round bunch of it as I wanted to anyway. You have to make sort of whatever concessions you can if it speeds things up for you a little bit, and in this instance it did. But yes, you know, you'll be seeing this if you're a channel member on the set Toledo tier and above the same day it's recorded. Everybody else will be seeing this next month after, you know, many other videos have come other than Bromley Pageant coverage, but I'm just sort of saying this kind of now, if hopefully that sort of helps. And yes, I'm very grateful to have the opportunity. We got interviewed in the main arena as well, which I didn't actually record, but one of my friends recorded that. It's not the best quality footage, and so I don't think I will probably be putting that out anywhere on the channel, but nevertheless it was a bit crazy. I don't know if you ever see that footage, but it was a bit weird being interviewed. 5 of us were interviewed. You know, so 6 of us actually, because we were 2 fuel power people were in 1 car with a caravan. So yeah, we have 6 of us interviewed by the main presenter, which was a bit weird. I think he sort of imagined I was a much bigger channel than I actually was. I suppose that's kind of nice, but I have to be realistic with people and say, well, it's not. I don't mind particularly or anything. It's just, you know, if you make me out to be someone who's as famous and as big as Jeremy Clarkson, well, that's not actually true. So we have to sort of be realistic about these things. Anyway, thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching this very vague vlog. It just rambles on and there's not much point to it really, but some of you like watching these videos, and so we will continue to make them. And thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching.